What's up, YouTube? Hope everybody enjoyed their week and everybody's safe and good. So today, got 3 topics in mind. According to young Jeezy, real niggas don't cheat. Now, I wish I could do a live poll. Hopefully we could do such things in the future, but if I could do a live poll right now, I wonder how many of us would be in agreement with that. Me personally, I'm not big on the polyamorous thing. I feel like if you're in a relationship and you with somebody that you don't want to be with, why even drag them along? So if you ask me, I agree with Jeezy. Yeah, real niggas don't cheat. But I also believe that some real niggas do. And the reason why, and just going off my own personal experience, one reason why I haven't cheated or haven't had the need to cheat is most of the time, if you're a real dude with your chick and you handling everything else, you keeping her satisfied and you giving her attention and whatnot, if you really doing what you need to do, most of the time, there is no cheating because you straight up about it. I've had occasions, in my life, whether y'all believe it or not, but, once upon a time, when I was still moving like that, yeah, I had it to where, I could literally be dropping off one chick, kiss her goodnight, to being with another chick. And it wasn't like I called that chick over. No, that chick was in the car as I was dropping off the other chick. So in that instance, I was in college and I was a real dude. I was very transparent about, not wanting to be in a committed relationship. And, a lot of the girls that I would talk to, I got to know not just on a physical level, but like a friendship level, and not no friend zone, because you don't kiss your friends. So it was a very complicated thing, and I'm still very much like this till this day because I haven't found a reason to be in a committed relationship. There's too many obligations to live up to. So yeah, that is why I would say that for the most part what he's saying is real, because whether or not you're in a monogamous relationship or not, if you're a real dude, you don't have to lie to your chick. And if there ain't no lying, you cancel out 99% of the drama. Just wanted to speak on that because I saw that became a thing. I think this reminds me of the era of the black men don't cheat era. Well, that's true too, because a lot of black men don't have to. A lot of wealthy, high value men don't have to. And I'm not going red pill on you. I'm just stating the facts based on, OGs that I've met, players, pimps, whatnot, regular hardworking individuals who, once you're bringing in that bag, there's not much to contend on the other end about where you do and what your go-abouts are. It's usually kind of understood, as long as you're not out there making your partner look like a fool, then it's all good. Now, if you sign up for an open relationship, that means that not only you, the dude, can play outside of the ring, but so can the chick. Which leads me to my next topic. See how I did that? So, if you're not familiar with the YouTube verse and what's going on with Adam22 and Lena, let me bring you to speed. I want to say a couple months ago, Adam22 was already, I want to say he was already popping, but he definitely had, some business relationships that kind of dwindled. So I could see how maybe his streams might have slowed down. I'm just trying to draw a conclusion as to why you would make such decisions that I'm about to explain. But lo and behold, to make a long story short, him and his wife had already been doing this show called Plug Talk, where they bring on a guest, most likely a good-looking woman. Most of the time, they were corn stars, or OnlyFans chicks, but that's neither here nor there. But they would bring them on the show. Lena, who's already an active adult star, she does stuff with mostly women, or she does threesomes with Adam. So this was kind of like the first time that they were going to switch up things, where they usually, add another chick into the equation. Well, this time, I guess because they recently got married and this was kind of like Adam's twisted wedding gift to her, they decided that Lena is gonna basically just do it without Adam there and with another corn star who happened to be a man by the name of Jason Love. Now, I'm not gonna tell you that I didn't believe it was gonna happen, because I was already familiar with Plug Talk, and even that got kind of weird sometimes, especially that Chromass episode, because there was a lot of red flags with bringing on music artists and basically having it out in the open that you had, sexual activities with her afterwards. I thought that was kind of like, wow, I guess Hollywood is just kind of opening the gates and letting us see the behind the scenes on how people really get deals or how people really get interviews. That was my first thought about that. So that always left like a cringe feeling when it came to Plug Talk as to, wow, is this like legal pimping, like on television? Basically, you want to do an interview, you got to sleep with my husband type shit. That was kind of like what I was thinking. But, just leading up to it more and more, I saw how they kind of gassed this thing up. This was like something that was really pumped up. I mean, I want to say that they put a lot of money into ads to make sure that people knew that this was happening. And I believe that, Adam just kind of played along with it. Like, he played along with it like a champ, I think even the beef that he had with Jason Love afterwards was, to a certain extent, kind of made up for clout, because people know that negative tension brings on more attention. So lo and behold, it happened. And I'm gonna give it to you straight. I saw it. It was very vanilla. It's not what you would consider a legendary scene. I would say that if you've ever watched such things, you would consider it to be on the level of, man, this had to be produced by a woman, because most woman-produced films look like this did. Everything looked clean, and there's no sweat, it just looked too clean, too neat, for it to be, I don't know, erotic. But it's not. I'm pretty sure that the public didn't get what they expected. Like, they got what they wanted to see, but I'm pretty sure for the average person, this was a disappointment because of how ratchet things are now. I mean, even the stuff you see on World Star is more, more erotic than that, is what I'm saying. But that's neither here nor there. I guess, like I said, either the people got what they wanted and they want more, or the people didn't get enough of what they wanted, and maybe, Adam didn't get the views or the numbers that he wanted before. So instead of it being, a one step up where I guess he gets involved in the threesome in the scene, that's what I would think would be the next thing. If you're comfortable with that. Nah, he went all out. He's gonna have a whole reality show where I guess, anywhere from 5 to 10 guys are gonna basically battle it out to have sex with Lena. And yeah, it's weird. In my book, I think it's really weird because even if you are in that life, a lot of people who are kind of in that life are very, 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 very discreet and, don't broadcast this kind of energy. So even if you are a very secure male, you secure what you got and you don't care, and you're dealing with open relationships, I think that most people are cool with that when the other party has something to lose, meaning the other couple has something to lose, and neither one of them wants to be judged in the public sphere over it. So with that being said, there was already a lot of talk about Adam and how he's just doing this for clout, and how, I've heard other big podcasters kind of mention that this is kind of his signs of the end type of thing. I'm not going with any of those things, because I think he's still got a very, very good following, to the point where I don't know why you would, even go down this rabbit hole, because that's what this is now. It starts off with a little taste, and then you get a little bit more, and then before you know it, Lena's gonna be actively doing stuff with males, which I don't think that Adam would be really cool with at the end of the day. I think he's kind of trying to show that he's with the program, and that, for X amount of years he's gotten to indulge with X amount of women. So this is kind of his, or kind of Lena's get back, without having to go outside the marriage or whatever like that. Like, I don't even think he really believes in marriage. So this whole thing is very, very interesting none the least. I'm surprised it hasn't broken the internet the way the first incident did, but maybe people are jaded. Maybe people are just like insensitive to this stuff now, to where now it's like, hey, well, that's normal. That's just Adam. Let him do what he do. Please give comments on this, because I'd like to hear what everybody else's opinion is on such a thing. If you are in a relationship with you and you had money already, you was already popping, would you be doing this? I'd love to hear other people's views on this topic. My last topic of today, I got to watch the debates, the Republican debate, and of course there was a lot of, I want to say, cap, so to speak. One thing I hate about debates is people tend to say what they think Americans want to hear, and if you're on the conservatives end or if you're on the liberal end, people tend to think they know what a conservative or a liberal wants to hear. My message to any politician is that we need to just stop all this blue and red and Republican, Democrat. I think that people are, for the most part, focused on the issues. And my biggest issue right now, of course, is number one, the economy, and number two, staying out of war. And not just any war. I'm talking about World War III. I think that should be a priority. And that's why I really, really gotta applaud Vivek Ramaswamy in the debate, because I think he was the only one that made it clear, especially in his interview with Valuetainment, he made it clear that his number one priority, which should also be every American's number one priority, is to stay the hell out of World War III. And by that he means, taking us out of bases that we don't need to be in areas that we don't need to reside in, and out of conflicts that we don't need to be mixed up into, whether through proxy war, direct or not. He did also mention that if someone was ever to come after us, that we would hit them 10 times stronger. Now, that part of his speech and his response to me is, again, him kind of saying what he knows what conservatives want to hear, which is that we're America, we're coming from a strong point. We're not weak. And I think he knows he has to add that disclaimer, otherwise he's gonna sound soft to other conservatives. But to me, he sounds very smart. He sounds like a businessman, which he is. And most businessmen around the world, including in America, are thinking the same thing he's thinking, that regardless of what conflict it is, whether it be Ukraine versus Russia, Israel versus Hamas, China versus Taiwan, we don't want no smoke with none of that. Not because we can't handle it, but because, frankly, if it got to that point, nobody in the world could handle it. We got too many nuclear bombs and not enough Earth. So I just want everybody to remember that. We got so many nuclear bombs and we ain't got enough Earth. You know, maybe if we was living on a super Earth that could hold 20 times our atmosphere, then, maybe we could be fooling around with nuclear weapons and still have plenty of planet left. But the planet has not gotten bigger. We have a lot more people and we have a lot more nuclear weapons. So just kind of pandering to all these different issues with foreign aid and how much money we're giving to Ukraine. I personally think it's ridiculous for us to be, feeding so much money into these wars when we have so many of these conflicts internally here in America that we cannot fix. It makes no sense. So I'm not going to delve too much into whether I support Vivek or not, but that specific part of his campaign is something that I think a lot of Americans either will or should identify with, because I think that's not being spoken enough. People, especially people who are politicians, man, they love talking a big game about war. They love talking about war as if it was like back in the days where you had, Ulysses Grant and George Washington. They used to be on horseback in the middle of the war, or like Caesar, he used to be in the middle of the war. That's the way our leaders talk now, and none of them go to war. So I'm always very, very hesitant when I see so many political leaders who are for a genocide and for, nuclear weapons and stuff like that. So that's something I just wanted to shed light on. I think that's a big deal that we have a candidate that is saying something like that, that should matter to everybody because it serves in everybody's interest to just stay out of these huge conflicts and to not spread our military so thin. But that's all I'm gonna say, and without being too political. Other than that, I'm gonna keep this one short. Y'all be easy. Check me out later. This is TNN. Leave comments, subscribe, share a video, and I'll see you on the next one.